MrBeast has been coming under fire once again after some contestants from his upcoming show Beast Games have released statements talking about some seriously scary stuff that happened while filming. Some of the statements include instances of violence between competitors, people being refused medical care, contestants having seizures, being sleep deprived, and being given minimal food and water. Holy shit! MrBeast really out here recreating Squid Games, but, well, for real this time. Rosanna Pansino, a popular YouTuber, has made several videos revealing statements from contestants about their time on Beast Games, and my god, it's not looking good. Also, some of these statements are a little long, so feel free to skip through them or just read them yourselves.
All the games were about speed and strength, so only the young athletic males were at an advantage over the women and elderly people.
So I personally don't think there's anything wrong with this. I mean, usually younger athletic males just are gonna be better at physical tasks. I mean, even in shows like Survivor or Physical 100, the women compete with the men. And yeah, the men technically do have an advantage, but still, there's nothing you can really do about that.
To make things worse, men started realizing that they could take out the women without being eliminated. Guys started tackling and hitting women.
Yeah, that's not okay.
2 girls were tackled and passed out on the field and were dragged off to continue filming. I saw people with broken bones, stitches, etc. And most were women.
Now look, I know I said it earlier, but holy shit, that is not good. I'm a MrBeast fan. I think a lot of the stuff he does is pretty good, and I've even defended him on a couple of things in my last video, but man, if even half of this is true, I think this could be the end of MrBeast. Now it actually gets even worse for Jimmy because that wasn't the only statement. Here's another contestant talking about their traumatic experience on Beast Games. We were set up to fail, and when men started tackling people to get them out, nothing was done about it. They were not even eliminated. The game that had to do with the briefcase, don't know what she's talking about there, it felt literally like Hunger Games, while MrBeast is standing on his podium, looking down, watching all of us peasants fight for a chance to win 5 million. Just imagine you're in a giant room with 1,000 other people you've never met, watching your fellow contestants drop like flies as they're being tackled all around you, like it's a damn battle royale. Meanwhile, MrBeast is standing on some balcony, laughing maniacally while eating a Feastables bar. I know it's a game show and it's not meant to be easy, but even with a waiver, it's a company's responsibility to have safety protocols in place to try to prevent injuries. That is not what was happening here. Jimmy, that does not sound good, my man. Anyways, while that does sound terrible, what the contestants had to say about the conditions in between the challenges and their overall treatment on the show was somehow much worse.
We were given maybe 400 calories a meal and only fed every 12 hours. Food would run out and people would fight over, steal, and hoard food. Water was scarce and kept running out as well. We were also sleep deprived, only allowed 3 to 4 hours. We all slept on the floor in the stadium in a $10 sleeping bag.
Of course, these contestants could be massively overplaying it, as MrBeast and his team haven't officially responded to these statements, and I do believe it's only fair that we get to hear both sides of this story. Either way, I don't know how MrBeast will be able to explain this next one. The lack of water, food, and medical attention was embarrassing and sad. Women and elders injured, I witnessed 2 seizures, a sprained ankle, staff and medical did nothing to help her, leaving her for hours crying. Teammates were helping console and aimed to get the staff to assist. PAs ignored us. I witnessed a rope literally wrapped around a young woman's neck, choking her out on the red team. Apparently, some other contestants saw or heard about this and decided to quit the game show even though they had made it through that round. So to clarify, these are people that would have been able to continue in the games and compete for $5 million, but because they saw this, they decided to quit. Now at this point, I'm pretty sure we're all thinking the same thing. How is this even legal? And the short answer is, well, contracts. You know, those things that you kind of just sign and hope that you're not selling your kidney or your children or, I don't know, something like that. Well, the New York Times has actually released an article just yesterday where they revealed some shocking details about Beast Games. And no, fortunately, no one sold their kidney. Apparently before filming started, several contestants were asked if they'd be willing to be buried alive or travel to outer space. Another contestant was asked if they'd be okay if they were thrown off a ship and had to swim to shore. Now, call me crazy, but that seems like it could be a little dangerous. Of course, all of these contestants did agree to compete in these games and are allowed to leave at any time, I think. So the contestants only need to endure these conditions for as long as they're willing. But it gets even crazier.
No! God, please, no! No!
How could this be any worse, right? Well, I'll just let Rosanna explain this one.
And one last thing I just realized, the name for Beast Games project is Greenlight, which is a reference to the first contest on the show's Squid Games where they kill off half the contestants. And I just got confirmation from someone at the Las Vegas shoot that the shoot name there was codename Project Red Light. Red Light, Green Light. In my opinion, Jimmy thinks he is recreating the Squid Games, and I'll just leave you with this. It's a picture of Jimmy on set in an outfit inspired by the villain from Squid Games.
Nah, that's actually crazy. I was joking about MrBeast really trying to create his own Squid Games, but this just can't be a coincidence. Now, it wouldn't be right of me to continue without commenting on how the eliminated contestants were dealt with, and what I'm about to say will definitely surprise you. One contestant was on record saying that she'd been given $1,000 in cash after being eliminated, but when cameras were off, she had to give it back, which just seems insane. Now, apparently the producers will be sending her the money, but according to the New York Times, as of a few days ago, she still hasn't been paid yet. And several other contestants who were eliminated pretty early on had really disturbing stories about how they were treated after the show. But so I don't bore you guys to death with even more reading, I'll just summarize. Most of the people talked about how they were pretty much left out to dry right after being eliminated, without food, water, hotels, or a flight home, which sounds pretty rough. Some contestants said they sat around at a casino for an entire day, with one person even having one of their family members drive across several states to come pick them up. So it sounds like the contestants were told that they'd have hotels and flights home if and when they were eliminated, but that clearly doesn't seem to be the case here. Now, I know all of this seems really bad, but let's not forget that MrBeast and his team do have quite a bit of experience with these types of challenge videos. Not to mention, we haven't really heard much of anything out of him and his team yet, so hopefully they'll be able to clear all of this up very soon. And if you guys want to know the truth behind some of the recent allegations made about MrBeast, then you might want to check out this video here.